So we are currently over halfway through this year. Like, what the heck? How did that happen? But I've read over 40 books so far this year. Some were great, some I literally threw across the room. But today we are going to be tier ranking all of those books just to see where they fit on the list. I love tier ranking videos. They're really fun to watch. I've never made one before, but I'm super excited to do one this time. So yeah, let's get into this tier ranking video. Alright, so I have my computer here and I am ready to get started. So, first off, I have 6 different tabs. We have Forever Fave, which is the top tier, S tier. Like, these books I adored, and these will always be some of my favorite books. Then we have At the Time Favorite, where thinking back, I'm not entirely sure just if I remember that 5-star feeling that I got when I read the book, but I did still really enjoy it. So at the time, it was a favorite, but it's not like an all-time forever favorite. Then Fun Time was just, it was good. It was good. I had an enjoyable time while I read it, but it's not gonna like stick in my head too much. Wasn't a 5-star, but I did enjoy reading it. Then we have Meh, which is, it was fine. I read it. It was, yeah. Then we have I Forgot. This doesn't mean that it was a bad book. It doesn't mean that it was a meh book. It just means I don't entirely remember, so I might have given this book a 4 stars whenever I read it. But now, thinking back, I just genuinely don't remember why or what happened. Normally, these go to thrillers that I listen to in a day where I'm like, wow, that was a good book. I had fun with that. And then I proceed to forget all about it and entirely what it was about. And then we have Burn It. I have 2 very specific books for this tier. Yeah, I don't like them. I don't have very many books that could go in this tier. Normally, I don't finish those books, but this time I have some books. So, I think we're going to start out with the first book I read this year, which was Dark Matter. This book was a fun time. It was definitely a 5 stars whenever I read it. Great way to start out the year with a 5-star. But I don't think it's gonna go in forever favorite just because I don't think it's a forever favorite, but at the time it absolutely was a 5-star and I do want to reread it. I bought it physically because I read it digitally and I really want to read that one again. So it wasn't at the time favorite and it still is a favorite, but not like a forever favorite like some of the other ones in this list. Then we have Ruthless Vows, which also is going to go in at the time favorite, where I do really love the series. Divine Rivals is an all-time forever favorite, but Ruthless Vows, it just didn't hit as hard, and I don't remember it. I can remember everything that happened in Divine Rivals, but with Ruthless Vows, I don't remember everything, so I don't like have that 5-star feeling in my chest anymore, but as a whole, I love the Divine Rivals world. And then we have The Giver. This book was a 5-star. I gave it a 5-star. And thinking back to it, I know that it was a 5-star and I did really, really enjoy it, but I don't think it's definitely not a forever favorite. But at the time, I'll give it to the fact that it wasn't at the time favorite. And then we have Everything I Know About Love. This is going to go in meh. This is a memoir, and it's just not the type of memoir I really enjoy. So I did not really enjoy this one. Then we have Animal Farm. I think I'm going to put this in Fun Time, which is not where Animal Farm should go. But I did have a fun time with it, and it's definitely not a favorite, but it's definitely not meh, and I remember a lot about it, and it definitely shouldn't be burned. So it was a fun time. I did enjoy that book. It was good. It was nice. And then we have Gentle and Lowly, which is a Christian nonfiction book. This book changed my life. So it is absolutely going in Forever Fave. I loved this book so much, and it will never. I need to reread it as soon as physically possible. So I need to do that. My screen is glitching. There we go. Okay, and then we have Lonely Castle in the Mirror. I gave this one a 5 stars as well. But I also don't entirely remember everything about this book. But it was really good. I remember it being really good, but it's gonna go in at the time favorite. And then we have Trust of the Emerald Sea. which unfortunately is gonna go in meh because I love the idea. I love the concept. The world was really fun, but I could not vibe with that writing style. I do like Brandon Sanderson, but that specific writing style, I just could not vibe with. The next one is Assistant to the Villain, which I also gave 5 stars, but I just, again, like I keep giving these books 5 stars, but they're not like 6 stars. I do remember really, really enjoying it, but I did not like absolutely adore it in the sense of I remember exactly why I adored it. Like that feeling did not stick with me the same way some other books have stuck with me. So the next book is Letters to a Young Poet. This one, I think I'm gonna end up accidentally sticking classics in Fun Time because they're not my favorite, but they weren't bad. Yeah, I think we're gonna stick that in Fun Time. And then we have Dating Engaged Married, Single Dating Engaged Married, which is another Christian nonfiction book. This one didn't change my life like Gentle and Lowly. But it's not meh. But it's not and it wasn't a favorite at the time, so I guess I'm gonna stick that one in Fun Time as well. um, then we have Good Bad Girl. This one was a fun time, but it also took me 4 tries to actually get my way through this book, and I don't remember what happened in it, so I think I'm gonna put that one in meh. And then we have Some Shall Break. This one's definitely gonna go in meh. I don't remember anything about this book. I feel like this should be going in I forgot, but it's not that I forgot what this book was about. It was just I remember it being so I don't care that it did go in meh. Like some of them I just flat out forgot. Like I do remember enjoying it, but I just don't remember why. But this one was pretty mediocre, I remember. We have Remarkably Bright Creatures. This one I loved at the moment. I definitely recommend this book, but it's definitely not one of my like forever top favorites. It would not like go into my top 5 books of the year most likely, but it was really good. Then we have Doctor Shipped, which was just a fun time. This one really should go in between fun time and meh because of the type of clean cheesy romance it was. But it was a fun time. It was a fun time. And then we have something that I did not think through very well, because here we have All the Light We Cannot See. And this is definitely not a favorite of mine, but it definitely wasn't meh. But Fun Time feels wrong. Fun Time feels really wrong. Well, All the Light We Cannot See, a very historical fiction about a blind girl and people dying, is gonna go in Fun Time. Yeah, sure. Yeah, Wishing Game. The Wishing Game is definitely a forever favorite. I do love this book. There are parts of this book I can't remember, but I do like the emotional feeling I had while reading this book was so strong that I will never forget it. I loved this book so much. The reappearance of Rachel Price, honestly, I'm gonna put in meh because I did not really enjoy this book at all. Like I did not like her character. I did not like the relationship they tried to do. I remember the ending being interesting and I did like read the whole thing, but other than that, it wasn't special to me. And then we have the absolute forever favorite, Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I wanted to put this one up front. Can I put this one in the front? No? Okay, sure. But yeah, Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez is probably my favorite book of the year so far. I did really love it. And then we have Powerful, which is going to go in Fun Time, just a short novella to go after Powerless before Reckless. And then we have Untethered Sky, which was a fun novella. I'm going to put it in Fun Time, but I just wish that book was longer. I wish it wasn't a novella. Another forever favorite is absolutely Nothing to See Here. Nope, not an at the time favorite. This is forever favorite. No, forever favorite. Come on. Oh my goodness, my computer is not cooperating. No. Thank you. Okay. Yes, Nothing to See Here. That book surprised me so much. I loved it so much. Absolutely forever favorite. And then we have The Traveling Cat Chronicles. This book was a fun time. Again, I need to stop putting books that are about death in Fun Time, but I didn't think that through whenever I named it. So, yeah, that book definitely wasn't Meh, and it definitely wasn't at the time a favorite. It did take me a long time to get through, but it definitely wasn't meh. So wow, this fun time list is actually just all of the most heartbreaking books ever. Oh my goodness. Funny story. I think I'm gonna put it in meh because while it was a fun time, I immediately got rid of the book, so I don't think it really was that fun. Um, yeah. I'm going to put A Flicker in the Dark as an at the time favorite. I did not list that book as a 5 star. I gave it a 4 or 4.5. I don't remember which one, but it was a favorite at the time just because it was set so close to home. So it just hit different. And I just loved that book just for that reason because that doesn't happen very often. And this is my list and I can do whatever I want. So I'm going to put that as an at the time favorite. But A Man Called Ove is a forever favorite. No. Forever favorite. Forever favorite. No. Forever favorite. Come on. There we go. A Man Called Ove. I love that book so much. It's what, like, really kicked off my love for Frederick Bachman. I loved it so much. If you can't tell, I haven't used either of these. These two, I know exactly what books are going in there. I forgot. Clearly, I haven't forgotten as many books as I thought I did. So we'll see how that goes. But Codename Verity. Oh no. Uh. Eh. I'm gonna put this at the front of meh because I'm actually gonna rearrange this a little bit. We're gonna put some of these at the front of meh because they weren't fully meh, but I didn't really enjoy it until like the very end. So it doesn't feel like it wasn't really a fun time. It was just it was fine. But The Worst Wingman Ever definitely was a fun time. This was a short novella by Abby Jimenez, and I did really enjoy that. As well as the 11th edition of Spy Family. I love the Spy Family mangas, and that is no different. Then we have where I tried to catch up on Throne of Glass and then very quickly decided to not. But I did read Heir of Fire. Fine, we'll put it in fun time, I suppose. As well as Queen of Shadows. Heir of Fire, the first half was absolutely meh. The first half was absolutely meh. But once I got to Queen of Shadows, I did start enjoying it. But it did take me all the way until Queen of Shadows to enjoy it. So we have the Edge of Collapse series, which honestly, I'm going to put in at the time favorite because, oh my goodness, stop doing that. I'm going to put Edge of Collapse in at the time favorite. I'm going to be counting this as the entire series. I have only read half of it so far, but I do really, really, really enjoy that series. Not because it's like the best written series or anything. I just find it so fascinating. It's like this post-apocalyptic thing where no one has power or anything. I love it so much. It's not like an forever favorite, but I think I just really enjoy it. We're at the last line now, but then we have First Lie Wins, which this is why I created the I Forgot category, because the way I read this book was I listened to almost all of it, except the last 5 minutes, which I put off for like 2 weeks. And then by the time I went back and listened to the last chapter, I had forgotten what had happened in the book. So I really don't remember what happens in this book at all. I actually don't really remember. But it was a thriller. I do remember enjoying it, but I don't remember what it was in it. Okay. I almost thought I was gonna have to put this in fun time, but no, I'm actually going to put Auschwitz Lullaby into meh because I didn't really enjoy this book. The story was sad, but the writing style, I could not get over the writing style. I don't remember what it was about it, but I did not enjoy it. I could not get invested with the story. Britt Murray was a fun time. Not as good as A Man Called Ove, but I did still really enjoy it. Brave New World. Brave New World was a fun time. That was really interesting. Fun, I don't think fun. It's like Animal Farm. Fun is the wrong word, but I did enjoy it. It wasn't meh, but it was not a favorite. It was just very interesting and I'm glad I read it. How Do You Live, I think, is going to go at the very tippy top of meh. It was probably one of my least favorite Japanese classics that I've read, but I've take that back. I haven't read any Japanese classics. It's probably my least favorite Japanese translated book, and just because it is a classic Japanese book and the way it was written just didn't connect to me as much as all the other ones I've read. But it's definitely not a meh book. Like, it's not. I'm just talking about my enjoyment in reading it. It wasn't really a fun time, so I'm going to put it in meh. But it inspired Miyazaki. He read it as a kid, and it's not meh. It's not meh, but that's where it's gonna go. And then we have The Picture of Dorian Gray, which um I think I'm gonna put it in at the time favorite, not because it's not a favorite anymore, but just because it's not like one of my favorite books of all time, but it is one of my favorite classics probably now. I don't know. Should it go in forever or at the time? I think I'm going to put it in forever actually, just because it definitely wasn't like classics just stick with you different, I feel like. And I love the ending of that book so much that I think it's just necessary to put it there, honestly, now that I think about it. Then we have Darling Girls, which was quintessentially a fun time. Like, it was not a favorite, it was just fun. And here we have the time where I can burn some books. Yes, okay. Last Mrs. Parrish, burn it. Nora Goes Off Script, burn it. Oh, I hated these books so much. If you watch my last video, if you watch my summary reading vlog, I talk about these books and I hate them both. I'm not going to elaborate, just know I hate them. So, yes. And then we have our last two books. We have Beach Read, which is not a favorite, but they definitely deserves to go in a fun time, but like above some of the other ones. It was a really fun time. And then The Middle of the Night, um this one was also a fun time, but it honestly, I'm going to put it at the front of meh because I was very, very on the fence about if it was going to end up being a trope I hate, and then it wasn't, but it also kind of was. So, like, it definitely was not my favorite at all. But yeah, so this is my official tier rank of all the books I've read so far this year. We've got some forever favorites. We have some favorites that just are still solid, but not like forever favorites. We've got some fun time books, like classics and other things. We got some fun time books, and then we have some meh. Got one, I can't remember what happens in this book. And we got some books that could burn. So, yeah, that's what I've read so far this year. I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. I wish I would have thought through these tiers a little better because I think I could have done one that was more like an objective classic or just like objectively a good book. Like, I think Animal Farm, Brave New World, and some of those are like objectively good books. Like The Traveling Cat Chronicles, objectively a good book. Personally, it just didn't like hit me or stick with me. Like How Do You Live, I think could have gone there too, as well as Codename Bear. I should have, I almost did an objectively good list, but I thought I forgot was gonna have more books in it. So just pretend like that's how that is if you would like, but it doesn't matter. This is nothing official. This is just a fun thing I decided to do on a Sunday afternoon. So yeah, here's my official tier ranking list. I hope you enjoyed it. What was your like forever favorite that you found so far this year? And also, have you had a book that you would like to burn? Because I would love to know what book you've read this year that you just would love to just light on fire if you could. Yeah. With that being said, though, I'm going to head off and I will see you next time if you choose to stick around. I hope you do. Bye.